Barshens!
The Amiga was a super nostalgic computer for me. I used to love playing it when I was growing up, and also playing Kirby as well, but that's just a physical game which a lot of people these days don't do.
Kirby?
You used to throw a ball against a curb, and if you hit the curb, and you caught it back...
Kirby is also a Nintendo character.
Oh, is it? Oh, I just remember that, yeah! Oh my gosh.
I thought you had a Nintendo as well. That could have been another top 5. But no.
Maybe. So yeah, Amiga games. There are some absolute stonkers out there, and we've got our top 5 right here.
Yep, and I disagree with them, but hey, it's Barry's video, innit?
Prepare to die.
In no particular order, prepare to die, the game Barbarian. I used to love this game. Yeah. It's just so cool. Did you like this game?
I'm going to be honest, I don't think this is very good because it's a very weak conversion of the 8-bit game from Spectrum there. You can see the massively pixelated and totally non-shaded characters. All they did was put in some cool sound effects, really. They could have done a lot better with a proper 16-bit version.
I don't know, because obviously Stuart's recorded this footage for me. I'm not sure if you do the old decapitation at the end.
I think we're about to see it.
Yes! That's it! That is the moment.
This is the bit everyone remembers.
Yeah. Is that a frog? That is a frog. A green monkey?
Drags the meal.
It was stress relief. You just go out there and just cut some heads off. And wasn't it...
And then afterwards you'd play Barbarian.
That's it, yeah.
Come on.
Lemmings.
Good old Lemmings.
There are quite a lot of Lemmings games, mate.
There were. Started off with Lemmings, and there was like an expansion called Oh No More Lemmings. There was Lemmings 2.
I remember Lemmings 2, actually, yeah. This is Lemmings 1, right?
Correct. This is the very first. There's a very underrated PlayStation game called 3D Lemmings as well.
My Lemmings experience did not come to that far. So basically you had all these guys falling out, wasn't it? And you could control your Lemmings in different ways, and then you had to get them to the end successfully by using various bridges and tools and bits like that.
An action puzzler, if you will, but a very, very good one. Because if left to their own devices, the Lemmings will literally just walk in a straight line to their deaths.
It's kind of like a Nice Worms. Remember the game Worms?
I do remember
Yeah,
Worms.
So they started doing bazookas and stuff like that, whereas this was just like, let's just dig.
This is entirely friendly. Well, not entirely, because of course you could make them explode.
Yes. Oh no! It's a good game. It's a good game, and the future is definitely Lemmings. Bring it back, folks. Bring it back. Third up is Cannon Fodder.
A stone cold classic.
I used to love this game. It's so good.
It's weird. It kind of looks like a shoot 'em up. It's actually more of a puzzle game.
You play it with a mouse, didn't you? And it was like left and right. One was fire. And you could change your grenades and your bombs and your
on certain levels.
And it was Jules, Jops, and Stod. They were always the guys at the start. They would always be the ones that you're like, I'm going to keep this guy to the end, and then he would die.
Jules,
like,
Jops, and Stod.
Yeah.
Do you mean stew?
There's a stew. No, that's a game.
You grew up calling stew Stod.
I'm sure there's a slight little arch, little curve, like a buttock curve.
Sensible Software, Stu from Sensible Software, who wrote the game.
Of course, and if you're watching Stu, I love you, and I'm sorry.
But he does call you Stod, apparently.
Yes, Stod.
Oh dear.
Maybe it's called Stod.
They're a surprisily dark game as well, because
Yes.
you'd see the graves of your people that died up on a hill.
That's it, yeah.
Sometimes you'd shoot the enemies, they wouldn't die right away, they'd lie there bleeding, go,
Yeah. Get it? Then, okay, and then there's also sometimes... There's sometimes there'd be a spike, you'd walk along it, and you'd be like, oh, Stod is still alive, and all of a sudden, it gets speared, you'd be like, no! Stod's died! Stu's died!
Stod. Well, I'm glad we did this now.
Stod. Speedball 2 was an absolutely stonking game, Stuart.
Absolutely.
Oh, hello! I like games. I had an Amiga or a Spectrum. I like games, me. Games. I could do a top 5. Games.
Speedball 2 was a great game.
It certainly was. It's equal to Speedball.
I see what they did there. And also there's actually a real life speedball taking place right now.
Oh my
with these
God.
guys on football pitches with a giant ball, and guess what they're using?
No.
Tasers. Yes.
That's the one. There's no tasers in this game. No
this
tasers.
game was amazing, right? You had power ups, you throw a big metal ball, there was a spirally thing one side. It's basically like football and rugby combined.
With more injuries and futuristic quasi-violence and metal
There it is.
armour.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Very
multi-score
metallic.
multiplier. Yeah, metallic look was a feature of the Bitmap brothers who
Oh, really?
programmed the game. All their games have this sort of metallic sheen.
It was a really good game.
It's fantastic. It's one of my absolute favourites.
So this is on an emulator, right? So
Yeah.
guys, you can probably get hold of this and have a go and just relive our youth.
The best version, Amiga CD32, because it had a better colour palette and you could tell the two teams apart more easily.
Ah.
Don't play the PlayStation game Speedball 2000 or something. It was arse.
Ice cream! Ice cream!
I can't believe you've never played this game, Stuart.
Football, isn't it?
Apart from the purposes of this emulator. So this is your first time ever playing SWAS, Sensible World of Soccer. So good.
Same people who wrote Karen Fodder, similar graphics.
Yeah.
It's all
And I
about-
think Jules Jobs and Stod were actually in the game. I think they were. I'm not sure, but it was amazing. You could view all the different clubs. It had all the authentic names. I'm sure actually there was one version that did. Like they got the licenses rights further on. You right? And then also after that, they did like fake names. So I think that's where Jules Jobs and Stod came in.
It was football, so I switched off.
Sorry. The only problem was when you got to the end of the season, it'd be like have to like refresh all the data, and it would take hours and hours and hours. But it was I wasted so much of my life and my puberty on this game.
Ugh. You're wasting your puberty on
Well,
something.
not
That's
physically with
actually-
hair and stuff, but
Oh,
it was
God.
just a really. They also did a version actually of Cannon Fodder as a Christmas special merged
I remember
with
this.
Sensible Soccer.
You went on the football pitch and murdered them all.
Yeah.
That was good.
Stod, you could throw a grenade, then score a goal. Amazing times.
Stod. If there's one thing you take away from these videos, it's Stod.
So those are my top 5 Amiga games. Some notable exceptions include Paperboy and Shadow of the Beast, which I just could never get around. I used to fall down the swamp and get stuck. How about you, Stuart?
Not a good game, Shadow of the Beast. Very impressive at the time.
Graphics were
so
good.
we all
There was like
played it,
hand
yeah.
thing reaching up. I don't like Scary Movie 2. Take my strong hand, sweet child. Sorry.
The end. Do you ever get to the end of game boss?
Game boss, what's that?
Right at the end of the game, Shadow of the Beast,
Oh,
you
the
have
boss
to
in the game.
repeatedly punch a big monster's toe. It's so big on its
Wow,
foot.
just on the toenail.
Yeah. Actually, we have a request.
Yes.
If anybody watching has an ADF of an old game, we think it's a PD game, may have been on a cover disc, or I can't find mention of it. Cow Postman.
Oh my
Something
gosh.
both me and Barry played.
That
We
was
cannot find
amazing.
it for love nor money anywhere on the internet, and I don't have my original discs anymore. So if anybody has got an ADF image of that for the old emulation, or even an original disc of Cow Postman, do drop us a line.
Yes, if you excuse the reference to Paperboy, it's kind of like a semi-skimmed version with the cow of Paperboy. Very good game, so let us know.
It wasn't anywhere near as good as Paperboy, but it was. I think I just liked it because it had a cow that was a postman.
Let us
I
know
was
down
easily
below
pleased.
your favourite Amiga games and any other top 5 suggestions you've got. Cool. See you next time.
Subscribe or die!
Stod.